Hello all and welcome to my channel where I'm just this random guy on YouTube with a finance and accounting degree that's just trying to get you better with money and help you build wealth. So in today's video, I want to give you 8 tips that will allow you to get rid of the fear you have when it comes to investing, because you need to remember this. Fear is only as deep as your mind allows. So in this video, I'm going to try to ease your fears. That way you invest, because listen, the only way you're going to build wealth is by investing. Financial capital works a lot harder than human capital. So the first tip I'm going to give you is this. You need to educate yourself, okay? You cannot just rely on other people and telling you what to do, because in any area we're in right now, all types of settings, everyone is talking about what? Crypto. Everyone's discussing crypto, and let me be honest, I don't even understand it. I don't want to understand it. It's so complicated, and I'm sure you feel the same way. But guys, that's not what building wealth is all about, okay? You need to understand what stocks are, what ETFs are, what index funds, mutuals. You don't need to be a master in it, but just understand enough where you feel like the decisions you're going to make when it comes to investing is not as risky as you expected. Because if you're a fearful person, trust me, there's enough fear out there to cause you to not invest. But if you're gonna build wealth, as I stated, you definitely need to invest. And the way to do it is this, guys. All you need to do is just read a lot of books. You don't need to read it from the beginning to the end. Just read a book that intrigues you and is interesting. Just read the chapters that you feel like pertain to you in order for you to gain knowledge. You can listen to a bunch of podcasts. I mean, there's so many out there. I recommend Dave Ramsey, The Money Guy. There's so many stuff out there. And you also can watch YouTube videos. You can subscribe to my channel. That's an option. But man, there's so many finance YouTubers out there. The people I would definitely recommend, once again, is Ramsey. Part of his team, George Kamel, Graham Stephan. If you want some form of entertainment, you can listen to Caleb Hammer. There's so many videos out there with so many people providing so much information that you definitely need to have this in your life. Especially guys, if you're just listening through osmosis, you will learn about finances. The second tip I want to give you guys is to start small, okay? The problem with a lot of people is once they hear how much wealth people are building, they think they're falling behind. So they're gonna put all this money into investing. And that's not the best thing to do, because if you're new to investing, you don't have enough knowledge. You don't understand exactly what you're investing in, and you're just going based upon what other people are telling you to do. So what I want you to do is to start small. Another reason why I don't want you to start all big is because a lot of people think in order for you to gain wealth, you need to put so much money in the market, and this will cause them to do nothing at all. That's not necessarily true, okay? The amount of money that you invest in the market is only the amount of money you could afford to do and continue to live the lifestyle that you live. I don't care if it's $10 a month. I don't care if it's $15 a month. Start with a small amount. You know, that gets you warmed up, that gets you going, that gets your blood flowing, and you'll feel more comfortable and more confident when you make the bigger investments. Because in the long run, guys, yes, you want to make bigger investments, but you want to do enough that you feel comfortable with. My third tip is this. Now that you feel comfortable, you're educating yourself, and you're starting to get the fear out of you, you need to start investing, but with diversification within stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all types of securities you want to invest in. I mean, even if you like crypto, okay, a small percentage, even if you like it, but you need to invest into all these assets. And the tricky thing is when people hear bonds, it's not as sexy, and people are like, you hardly make any money on bonds, and that's great. But during good times and bad times, bonds can save you. But what you need to do is think of bonds as a way to just protect you from all the fluctuations that happen in the market. Bonds don't move so drastic compared to stocks. Now, I know in the news, all you're gonna hear about is stocks and Apple and Meta and all these big time stocks and Tesla. And you wanna invest into those because you wanna win fast. But that's not what investing is about, okay? You want to diversify. You want to put some money in a rate, which is a real estate. You want to put some money in bonds and some money in stocks. Now, me personally, I have a high percentage in stocks, around 80 to 90%, but I still do have some in bonds. And the reason why, though, I have a large percentage in stocks is because I'm fairly young and I'm not close to my retirement age, so I could ride that wave. But if you're someone that's a little nervous about it, you need to have at least some bonds, at least 10% of your portfolio with some bonds to protect you out during these times when things get difficult. The fourth tip is to have a long-term perspective. Guys, investing is not something you could do today and tomorrow all of a sudden you're gonna hit it big. That's the lotto ticket, okay? We're not doing lotto here. Investing is a long-term strategy. The reason why you need to practice having a long-term strategy is when you hear some things in the news about the market is going down, you don't have to start freaking out thinking, I'm gonna lose all my money. You don't care because you're investing for 20 years. If this happens in year 5, who cares? You have 15 years to recover. And a little tip that a lot of people just, for some reason, just don't think about this and they always do the opposite. When the market is down, you don't stop investing because actually the stocks are on sale. Do you stop going to a grocery store once the price of goods start going down? No, you start buying more and more and you stock up. You see a BOGO, you buy that. You see all deals and you buy it. It's the same when it comes to the stock market. That way, if you're holding on to all those stocks and all those assets that you bought on the cheap, you are gonna have a great ride once all those assets are going up in value, because they are gonna go back up in value, because there's so many reasons why the stock market reacts. Sometimes it's just human behaviors, a lot of emotions that go along with the market. So sometimes it's really no reason why it went down, but if you consistently invest and you think of a long-term perspective, you will win. Tip number 5 is to seek professional advice. You know, there's a lot of people out there that can invest on their own, and that's great. Some people just put the money in an ETF or index fund that follows the S&P 500, and that's all they want to do. Because if you think about it, you are diversified when you're doing that. You're investing in 500 companies within a stock market. So if one company does bad, Apple, another company does great, Tesla, you're diversified. And it's 500 companies. And think of it this way. It's 500 companies with 500 CEOs that all of a sudden now you are the boss of. They work for you and they're doing whatever it takes to increase your value. Doesn't sound like a bad deal. But everyone's circumstance is different, okay? I do finance videos and I speak on topics that's very broad. It might not be specific to you. There might be a little things in here within my conversation that might pertain to you, but if you want something that's catered directly to you and you want to get a better understanding of something, you can drop a comment down below. I'll do a video for you or respond to you and let you know, or you can speak to professionals, okay? This is something they do for a living. They could look at your exact situation and give you their recommendation and what you should do. There is nothing wrong with asking for advice. Truthfully, there isn't. As of right now, I don't have one, but in the future, I would speak to someone just to make sure the things that I'm doing are right. And some plans actually have a free service. It might be one-time deal, but they might have a free service where you could speak to someone and they could give you some advice, and you could determine from that point whether you want to use a financial service or not. My 6th tip is to start with the industry you are comfortable with. If this is your first time investing, you want to invest into an industry you feel comfortable with. It could be rather in retail, it could be rather in tech stocks, it could be in any type of industry that you feel comfortable with. It could be energy, anything. A lot of people love to do the S&P 500 because that's always on the news and everyone is always discussing the S&P 500. You're probably familiar with hearing about it. You're probably familiar with Apple, whatever it is. That is what you want to invest in because you will feel more confident because you understand exactly how that industry works. The way I approach my investing is if I don't understand it, I don't invest in it. That's why I just don't like crypto. Doesn't make sense to me. There's no asset behind it. It's just all based upon emotions. There's a blockchain. It's too complicated. And if it's too complicated, I don't feel comfortable with it, then I'm not going to invest into it. Now, a lot of people out there might think I'm insane. You should invest in it. It's great. But guys, if you turn on the news, I mean, it's always like this. It's just, I'm not into it. I don't understand it and I don't want to invest in it. And I feel like in order for you to invest and to be comfortable and to sleep at night and to not be so fearful, it has to be in something that you at least understand and you feel comfortable with. Tip number 7 is to practice patience. Rome wasn't built in one day and your wealth is no exception to the rule. You see, it always starts from someone getting curious and getting a little bit of information and putting money into your 401k. If you have a job, you put money into 401k, you put the match, then you start, hearing some podcasts, getting some information, then you start adding more and more and more to your Roth IRA, to your own brokerage account. You start investing. That's the way people build wealth. And the earlier you start it, all right, then the more you're going to be able to grow and people are gonna think, wow, this guy was rich the whole time. No, you built it nice and slow, and you need to be patient, because when it comes to the market, guys, there's so many news that come out that's trying to make you sell. I don't know why, but unfortunately, fear sells. And if you're a fearful person, please turn off the TV, because this is gonna do you no good. So in order for you to build wealth, you need to have patience. We live in a microwave society where everyone wants results quickly. But I got news for you. It's just impossible. If everyone can make money quickly within the market, we will all be rich, okay? But there's a reason why that's not the case. And you might hear some people talking about how they got rich quick in the market. They are extremely lucky, because no one can time the market. No one can time the market. They could tell you this as much as possible, but they can't. So please be patient. And I would definitely tell you this. Just set it and forget it, okay? Every month you put a certain amount of money in and you forget it. And you just remain patient. You just calm down and everything will work out. Trust me, everyone that has built wealth has followed that path. And my 8th tip, and by far this is the most important tip, is to embrace mistakes. We all make mistakes, and part of the learning process is making a mistake and learning from it. I'm gonna share with you my story. Back in my days, everyone thought Sirius XM stock was gonna become this greatest thing. You're probably one of them that got it. I mean, Sirius XM, guys, was huge with the satellite, great service, Howard Stern, ESPN, awesome. I mean, it was the most awesomest technology. So me being the person that I am, and I mentioned earlier, to invest in something, to invest in the industry you feel comfortable with, the first type of true investment I did was into Sirius XM stock. And if you notice from everything I've been saying for the tips, you gotta diversify. I didn't. That's the first thing I bought because I wanted to just dabble in it to see how it went. As of now, nothing. I didn't make any money. Actually, I lost so much money. It's horrible. I still get emails from them letting me know how much money the stock market it did in the stock market. I can't even unsubscribe from them. I tried plenty of times and they continually send it. And that's a great reminder of letting me know, idiot, you made this dumb mistake and you're still being reminded of the dumb mistake you made. But I'm cool with it, because ever since that experience, I learned that I needed to diversify and put money within an index fund. That's just my thing, guys. I love doing an index fund, whether through Vanguard or Fidelity. I just love doing an index that follows the S&P 500. That's my comfort zone and it makes me feel safe. But if you're that person that made a mistake with investing, it's okay. It really is okay. You just need to learn from it and don't make the same mistake again. That's just the only way you're gonna learn, guys. You're gonna make a mistake. It's gonna be a big mistake or a small mistake. But the more frequent you make mistakes now, most likely those will be the very small mistakes. And then when it gets to a point where you're building wealth, you will not make those same mistakes and you'll be able to maintain that wealth. Not just build the wealth, but maintain that wealth the right way. So there you have it, guys. Those tips will allow you to gradually get rid of the fear and allow you to build wealth. It's really important that you pay attention to those tips and you practice it. I really hope this video helped you out. And guys, please hit the like and the subscribe. I really appreciate it. Try and get to 1,000 subscribers, and with your help, I will certainly get there. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace.